Okay, so now that everybody has their Kickbox Detox, that little binder, I gave everybody theirs, the last person today, so everybody should have it. So let me kick it off with just kind of going on to my Kickbox Detox and giving you guys a bit of an update. Okay, so even though you have a black and white version of this, this should look familiar. This is where we're going to be spending a lot of time over the next several months. Macronutrient 101. So page 4, great to always come back to this page, look at those 5, kind of give yourself a refresher course on how this Kickbox Detox nutrition plan works. Again, as we talked, there's no magic pill here. Sometimes you think you're very active and in that 1.75 range, and you realize that when you eat calories at this level, you are not getting the result that you want. So maybe dropping it down to a 1.55. This is, or a 1.35, wherever you're at, this is going to allow us on a month-to-month basis. What I would say is don't change it partway through the month. Fulfill the month, look at your results on InBody, take a look at how you actually ate, and then make adjustments. Now, I've decided not to change my PAL number, my physical activity level number. I decided to keep my calories the same and just adjust my macronutrients. So I'm upping my protein. So let's talk about that. Again, this page on page 6 is another one. You can actually change where you are within that range, whether you're at the weight loss, 200 to 300 for women, 300 to 500 for men, or weight gain, 300 to 400 for women, 400 to 500 for men. But really getting into macronutrients. So carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. I thought this was actually an interesting, I pulled this up. So this macronutrient guide, let me share this. I thought this was an interesting diagram that I found on the internet, showing that carbohydrates, there are some things that are considered carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. There's also some areas where those overlap, where this is both a carb and a protein, where this is both a protein and a fat. So I thought that was good to actually take a look at. And you can actually see that on your food list, on your Kickbox Detox food list. So we're going to really be deep diving onto that. But one of the things that I found, and I'm going to share, let me share one more thing. So you guys know I'm right now, actually through June, I'm testing and kind of using, because I used MyFitnessPal as a log previously. So this time I am using Lose It. So Lose It, this one's okay, like the online version. But I like that it gives, so here's the My Day, tells me how many calories I can eat on this one. Let me show you. So like, let me delete that. So if I have this, it tells me how many I can eat for the day. I can also look at my nutrients and I can say, okay, I've had 21 grams of carbs. I've had 50 grams of protein. So right now I'm increasing my protein. Previously, I was at about 70 to 80 grams a day. I'm trying to get up to about 140 to 150. So last month I had a decent result on my InBody. My skeletal muscle mass went up a little bit. My percentage of body fat went down a little bit, but it wasn't, I was really focusing on skeletal muscle mass. I've been really trying to increase my skeletal muscle mass, and then I'll deal with dropping body fat later. So I'm trying to increase that. But what I'm trying to do now is I'm staying in the same calorie zone. So I kept my PAL number the same. I kept my reduced number the same. I just am changing my protein number. So one of the ways that I'm using this, and I actually think that the app itself is a little bit more beneficial. So let me share this. I think the app is a little bit more beneficial because I can actually, with the app, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but with the app, I can check and see on this My Day at the bottom. This tells me my protein is that much of my daily, just with my breakfast. So I've got 50 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of fat. So that's my breakdown right now. So if I want to see, I already actually ate lunch, but let's say if I wanted to see if this was going to keep me on track, these carne asada fries that I had for lunch. So I could actually put them in there. Maybe I didn't eat them yet. And I just want to see, okay, is that going to keep me on track? Okay, awesome. That gives me 102 for protein, 126 for carb, and 67 for fat. Again, it's a little high on the carb side for me. It's probably not something that I'm gonna, but my son brought it home for me, so I ate it. And it was good in protein, so I'm gonna stick with it. So that was, something on here gives me a good protein number, and I'm still well within my calorie budget. So I like this. I really couldn't find it on the online version, but as far as the app goes, it gives me an idea where I can actually test out, because what I found is that I don't plan my day. So I'll be honest, I wasn't great about this last week. So most of the days last week, I stayed within my calorie count. That does a good job of that, but I did not hit my protein number. I was right around 70 to 80 grams of protein. So I realized that I have to be much more purposeful in planning what I'm going to eat. So really trying to do some protein supplements, the shakes with protein, the scoop of protein is good. So again, I think you have to be planning that out, checking it. So now I'm putting what I plan to eat in there, seeing if that's going to give me the numbers that I want. And then that's what I'm going to eat for the day. So instead of just kind of going and putting it in as I eat, I'm trying to plan it out ahead of time, see if it's going to give me the numbers that I want, and then planning to eat that. So I can make adjustments beforehand instead of after I've already eaten it and go, oh, that didn't really get me to where I want to be. So again, the rest of March, we're going to be spending on carbohydrates, and then we're going to go into proteins and fats. So March carbohydrates, April protein. I'll be able to kind of give you an idea of what my result was when I've increased my protein, but kept the same calorie count. So that's really my test on myself for the month of March. And again, keep in mind, that's what this is. This is about learning how your body reacts to certain ways of eating. I did this previously when I ate keto. And so now I'm doing it just in a different way. Like 3 years older from when I did that. So I'm having to adjust my how I eat, because my body reacts differently than it did when I was 45. I'm going to be 49 in October. So you have to adjust it. And that's really what this is meant to do, is to try to teach you how to make those adjustments when life and age, and as you get older, forces you to say, hey, my body's not reacting the same way that it did last year or the year before. So that's where we're at for the month of March. I know that this was a long video, but I wanted to do a big introduction and give you guys kind of an idea of where we're going. So plan on spending March, April, May, and probably June in macronutrients,